What is going on, everyone? I had threw up a poll and I said, who wants to learn what are the top ways to be able to maximize productivity and results during the lockdown? If you're watching this later, we're in the first quarter of 2020 and it is absolute pandemonium. Everybody's going crazy, being stuck at home, everything's locked down and whatnot. So right now I'm going to give you the top 5 things that you can do to maximize your results and productivity during this lockdown. So let's jump right into it and get started. So the number one thing you can do to really maximize your results and productivity during this lockdown is to show up powerfully every single day with strong habits and strong energy. So many people are working from home and they go from answering to a boss to answering to themselves. And unfortunately for them, they're not always the best boss for themselves in most cases. People show up in sweatpants, they just chill out, they do whatever. They don't stick to a solid morning routine. So you have to have those strong habits to be able to govern how you're showing up throughout the day. There's a quote that goes, if you can't make yourself do what you know you should do, someone else will tell you what to do all the days of your life. And that's so true for so many people that have jobs and they eventually want to be their own boss, they want to start their own gig or whatever it is. But if you can't control yourself, if you can't be your own boss per se, and do the things that suck, even when you don't want to, then you're going to be stuck answering to someone else all the days of your life. So that's the number one tip. Show up powerfully every single day. Now, tip number 2 is take massive action. And you might be thinking, how can I take massive action? I'm freaking locked in my house and I can't go anywhere, other to get groceries and walk your dog, or for me, walking the boosted board. But you can take massive action in your own respect. All the competition right now is sitting around bogging down YouTube and Netflix to the point that they have to turn down their data. What's it called? They have to turn down their resolution so that more people can stream, because there's so many people just bogging down the internet that they're literally turning down the resolution so it's not as clear so that they can get it out to more people. That's what your competition is doing. So right now you have a huge opportunity to take advantage of and to go out there and create and produce from your house, from your laptop, from your phone. You still have resources. Now, what does that look like? Maybe your business or what you do, your job, whatever, isn't virtual. You can still get in the best shape of your life right now. You can eat healthy, you can work out, you can do home workouts. There's a million different things you can do as far as fitness. Sales, you could sell a product for yourself, you could sell a product for someone else, you could sell a service for someone else. Maybe you could literally go on YouTube and learn how to make websites or edit websites or do any other skill online that people need done that's just a manual task, and you could set up and do that from your laptop and sell that as a service. Or just research, become a master in your space. Being a master in your space and being the best person to go to is extremely valuable, no matter what that is. So you could even be studying on how to be better at your job, learning different resources, tools, the newest innovations. Because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of companies that are going to be making cuts from their workforce over these coming days because of all the economic reaction of the virus and all that stuff. So if you're in the top 1% or top 10%, you're probably safe at your job. So you got to figure out, how can I be the best at what I do, whether it's for my clients or whether it's for my company, and that's going to protect your job and your income. So that's number 2. Number 3 is be lean, be simple, and be focused. So just like when you first get an apartment or your house, you move in and you're like, wow, this is so much space. Like, what am I ever going to do with all this space? You got closets and drawers and all kinds of stuff. 3 or 4 years later, when you move, you're like pulling out all this stuff from all these closets, which all filled up over time. And you're like, how did I get all this junk? And the same thing happens in your life. It happens with your time. It happens with relationships. It happens with your computers, with your phone, with your house. You just get stuff and you keep old stuff. And you might think, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it is bogging down your mental capacity. So throw stuff out, get rid of junk that you're not using, donate stuff, take this time while you're on lockdown to optimize your operating system of your life. Whether that's mental, whether that's emotional, whether that's relationships, whether that's in your house, your computer, delete files, go through and clean that up. Your phone, clean up your phone, organize photos, optimize your phone. Your house, like literally, if you just go into your closet, I guarantee you could spend probably multiple hours, unless you've just done this, going through and getting rid of clothes that you don't wear, donating that, getting it to people that actually need it. If you're not going to use it, there's no reason to hold on to it. And you will find yourself being super, like having a lot of fun going through this process and just feeling like joy and clarity when you go through this process. So highly, highly recommend getting rid of the clutter in your life. And the last piece of number 3 is cut the news, cut the social media, cut the BS. I'm not saying you shouldn't be informed of what's happening, but it doesn't take more than a few minutes to do some research and then cut it off, turn it off, etc. You don't need to be scrolling through Facebook and seeing every Tom, Dick, and Harry's opinion on what's happening with the virus, how bad unemployment or the economy is going to be. So many people are just making speculations right now, and it is so fresh that nobody even really knows what's going to happen. Yes, there's going to be some challenges. That is for sure. But that's why you are doing these 5 steps to optimize your results and your productivity right now so that you're not going to be one of the ones that is affected the most tragically. So that's step number, where are we at? 3? 3, yeah, I can count. This is great. Step number 4 is maintaining and reestablishing relationships. So over this time, I have called people, I've reached out to people, see what I could do to add value, asking people how they're doing, what are they up to, telling them what I'm up to, seeing if they know anyone that I can work with, that I can help. And this has been super valuable, not only from a business standpoint of being able to generate more business because I'm talking to more people and more people know more people, but just to be able to have those relationships and know where people are at and rebuild those, because relationships are so insanely powerful. And right now, when everybody's cooped up, people are hungry for those conversations. They want to talk to people. They want to hear how people are doing because, quite frankly, they're just as cooped up and crazy as you are being stuck at the house. So definitely recommend calling friends, FaceTime, video chat, phone call, whatever. Hit people up, reconnect, see what you can do to add value to them, and see if there's any way that they can help you or that you can partner and grow and achieve better and higher together. So that was number 4. Step number 5. This is my favorite one. That's why I left it for number 5, to keep you on the edge of your seat. No, step number 5 is actually a question. And the question is any of this new to you? Is any of this earth-shattering, awe-inspiring knowledge from God that you haven't heard? No, probably not. You've probably heard all of this stuff before. But what's the difference? You know that you should do all these things. You know that you should be paying attention to your fitness, that you should be eating healthy, that you should be maximizing your productivity and your results during this time. You've probably, if you're watching this training all the way to the end, you've probably read a lot of books before. You've probably been to seminars. You've probably listened to podcasts, audibles, whatever. But what are you doing about it? It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're incompetent. It's that you don't have the right system in place. And so many people, they know all the answers. They know what they should do. But there's a breakdown between what they know they should do and actually following through and doing that. So what's that gap? Why is there this difference when there's intelligent people that know what they should be doing, but they just can't seem to get themselves to do it? There's a solution. There's an answer. And the answer is you don't have the right system in place. You're not making yourself uncomfortable. You're not putting yourself out there to the point where you have that accountability to actually follow through on what it is that you say you want to do. It's just this idea. It's something that you're holding in your head of, yeah, I want to do this thing. I want to get in better shape. I want to make more money, whatever. But there's no accountability to actually follow through. Goals are this idea of what it is that we want to achieve, something we want to reach for. Standards are what we will fight to keep. You need to raise your standards. But a good way to be able to do this is to get around other people that have higher standards. Because instantly, if you're around all your friends and everybody kind of has standards like this, and you might be doing a little bit better. Maybe you're an overachiever. You're 10% better. Instantly, if you get around people that have higher standards, now you're going to be embarrassed, you're going to be ashamed, and you're going to run harder. If you're working out with someone that's jacked, you're going to be trying to push those weights a little bit more. If you're running with someone that's fast, you're going to be trying to keep that pace a little bit. So get around people with higher standards. And this gap is still going to exist, but there's things that you can do to close that gap. And my approach to this has been to surround yourself with like-minded individuals that want to be able to win and want to level up. And we actually built a program specifically for this issue, helping people bridge the gap between what they know they should do and actually following through and taking action on a daily and consistent basis. So we built a program called Daily Hustler, where basically we bring all these like-minded people together. We surround them with people with higher standards, and we give them a system to plug into that will hold them to a higher standard, that will allow them to execute on some of these things that they know they should be doing. So you can 100% do it on your own. I already gave you all the things that you need to be doing right now, but my guess is it's not new news. And you've probably tried to do some of these things before, but when the alarm goes off, you don't actually get up. Or when you know you're about to work out, you don't actually work out. So if you're done with just learning, if you're done with just knowing it, if you're ready for the result, for the action, to see the difference, then I would suggest we connect and you really learn about what we're doing here at Daily Hustler. So I'd love to share more about it. I hope these 5 things really helped you. I hope that it's shedding awareness that you have to hold yourself to a higher standard and you have to be committed and go all in, because everybody else is taking it easy right now. And if you're not able to break through that limiting belief, that mental barrier of it's okay to kick back right now, it's okay to chill out because everyone else is, then you are going to find yourself amongst the masses of people that are tragically impacted by this virus and ultimately the economic reaction of that. So I hope this helps. Guys, stay safe out there and stay frosty.